If there's one watch at Watches and Wonders this year that represents modernity and nostalgia at the same time, it's the Vacheron Constantin Patrimony Retrograde Day-Date. Why? Stay tuned to find out. Hi World Tempest family, we're back with another special session with the World Tempest Showcase. This one's a Watches and Wonders 2023 hands-on experience at the Vacheron Constantin manufacturer in Plolliwat. As you guys know by now, this year is the year of the retrograde display at Vacheron Constantin. And if you didn't know that before, you do now. I have in my hands the Patrimony Retrograde Day-Date, an extremely alluring looking timepiece, as you can tell even at this distance. And we're going to dive straight into the close-up without any further ado. First of all, this watch comes in a 42.5mm diameter platinum case. Not steel, not white gold, but platinum. The obvious statement to make here is that platinum is considered the most prestigious amongst the precious metals that we regularly see in watchmaking. But I also want to point out that it carries additional significance at Vacheron Constantin, since they use platinum to really emphasize the exclusivity and refinement of the watch in question. At Vacheron Constantin, platinum is reserved for watches that really represent the essence of the Maison savoir-faire, as seen in the Collection Excellence Platine timepieces, which use platinum in not just the case, but also in elements like the dial and strap stitching. This isn't part of the Collection Excellence Platine, as you can see, but the use of platinum in the case material already tells us how Vacheron Constantin is positioning this watch. It's in the Patrimony case design, which lots of people tend to mix up with the Traditionnel, but the difference is totally clear when you look at a Patrimony side by side with the Traditionnel. With the Patrimony, we're looking at slim profiles, a narrow bezel, very elegant lugs, and it's overall a much more contemporary and versatile looking case design than the Traditionnel, which definitely has a more formal vibe. I am personally a big fan of the Patrimony. I said at the beginning of the video that this watch represents both modernity and nostalgia, and we've covered the modernity bit, but what about the nostalgia? You're looking right at it. It's the salmon colored dial and the double retrograde indication of day and date. Let's take those features on one by one. The retrograde indication is a key feature in vintage and antique watches by Vacheron Constantin. I can guarantee you that any kind of list regarding Vacheron Constantin's top 10 greatest hits of all time will feature either a pocket watch or a wristwatch with a retrograde display. Fans of historical Vacheron Constantin will know this for sure, but that's not to say that the retrograde display hasn't been featured in the contemporary collection, because it definitely has. It's just that with a company like Vacheron Constantin, with such a long history and range of watchmaking expertise, there's a lot of stuff to focus on. If you guys aren't familiar with the retrograde display, here's a live demonstration. We all know the kind of watch indication with hands that go round and round. I'll show you with the hours and minutes on this watch. There we go. You can see that exactly how the hands make a complete rotation around the dial. With the retrograde display, the hand doesn't complete one full rotation. It goes through an arc and then snaps back to zero when required. While it's going through that arc, it can move in a smooth motion, or it can take distinct and discrete steps. Let me show you with the day-date indication here. One of the reasons why I like the retrograde display so much is because I think it reflects the attraction we feel towards mechanical watchmaking. We all live such modern lives with high-tech conveniences. Every day we advance step by step towards the future, but when we see something that reminds us of the beauty of tradition, when we see things that make us experience the same wonder that we regularly felt when we were little, when we encounter nostalgia, there is something in us that instantly transports us back to that time in the past. The retrograde display to me is an echo of how our strongest memories work on us. So that was all very philosophical. Thanks for coming with me on that little detour. And now we come back to the watch itself. We have this gorgeous salmon colored dial with sun-rayed finish that plays with the light depending on the angle. Let me try and adjust the lighting so that shows up a little more clearly. And there we go. We have the hours and minutes on centrally mounted hands with the coaxial retrograde hand for the date on the upper half of the dial, and the indication of the day balancing out the lower half of the dial. If we turn the watch over to have a closer look at the movement, you can see the self-winding mechanism with the open-worked rotor decorated with the Maltese cross that is a symbol of Vacheron Constantin, providing the watch with 40 hours of power reserve. So there you have it. It's our hands-on experience of the Vacheron Constantin Patrimony Retrograde Day-Date, and I hope you enjoyed it and learned something interesting about this new timepiece just launched at Watches and Wonders 2023. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel to see more content like this, and we'll see you again very soon. Bye for now.